Mr. Speaker, I rise today to talk about something that maybe isn't the most exciting subject, but it's something I used to teach in the classroom. It's called federalism. The map to my left here shows exactly what's happening in America today, and it's a great thing. People have the power to vote with their feet and leave failed states. There is a reason states like Texas and Florida are attracting more and more people, because the system works. People are recognizing that we have high taxes and high crime. It's time to leave that state. And that's what's happening today, the idea where people are voting with their feet. Federalism is that opportunity, and it's the reason why I want to talk about what's happened in the last few years. Now, one of the issues I want to talk about is, I would call it amnesia, or maybe memory loss. During the Biden years, food prices went up dramatically. You'll see that when you used to spend $200 at the grocery store, you spend $254. If you spend $1,000 a month at the grocery store, over $1,200, almost $1,300. That is a significant amount of money. It is fundamental. And especially as we move towards the MAHA movement, people are making better choices, but with great challenges. And so with the idea of amnesia, what is the Democrat plan? Their plan has been, let's go back to those failed policies. And it wasn't just on groceries. In early 2021, the monthly rent was between $1,550 and $1,600. When we took over in early 25, it had got high as over $2,000. Again, a radical increase. And their plan is to go back to this plan. So this is why I want to make sure people recognize where we're at. The affordability issue is a challenge, no doubt. But the return to failure is not an option. And that's why I'm pleased to see that we are moving in a direction that should matter. Because not only are we reducing some of these costs, but more importantly, we're putting more money back in people's pockets. Now, the Democrats had the opportunity in 21 and 22 to pass all types of things to actually reduce taxes for the working class. They could have cut taxes on Social Security, on overtime and tips, yet they failed to do so. They could have reduced taxes on the middle class, so hard hit by the inflationary numbers I just talked about. They did nothing. So we gave them a second chance. We said we're actually going to reduce taxes on overtime, tips, and Social Security. Join us in that effort to help people hard hit by higher food costs and higher rent costs. But to the member, they said no. They wanted to actually let the tax rate regress back to the old Obama rates, which would have been on average 23% increase. Is that giving relief to people? Absolutely not. That's why I think people, as I've mentioned before in this map, it's so important that people have the power to vote with their feet. They know when they go to my home state of Florida that taxes are lower. And I'll just give you one simple example. I'm a former New Yorker. And do you know that Florida actually has more people than New York, and yet their state budget is twice as high? That means you're paying twice as much in taxes than you are in Florida. And I'll ask you the other logical question. Where would you feel safer today, in New York City or in Florida? These are the choices that people get to make in America, and it's a great thing. And it's a reason why we don't think one size fits all. And the reason why we want to allow people to vote with their feet, whether it be on education issues, tax issues, or even public safety. The choices are clear. Stay on the positive path of putting more money in your pocket, giving you the flexibility to live in states that actually believe in freedom, or regress to 4 years of failure. And it's not just, again, on money issues, but that issue of crime is so important today. And the understanding of where we want to go. They even want to change the number of people on the Supreme Court, pack the court in order to get their way in the end. That's not the way to solutions, and that's why I think people need to make sure they do not have amnesia moving forward or memory loss, that the best way to solve problems is to empower the individual and send less power to Washington and more power back home. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back.